But you got a boy or a girl?
Girl.
Trying to have that boy.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You know what my daddy told me?
What?
The reason why it's important for men to have for men to have boys. It's important for men to have boys because one day we got to give our daughters away. Our boys gonna keep our name alive.
Yeah, once you really start thinking about that, especially when you care about passing on your last name, it becomes like, damn, having a boy is more significant than the girl in like an important way.
Yeah, another type of way.
Wait, so how many kids you got?
I got 2. I got a boy and a girl.
See, there you go. What
You know
what ages now?
8 and 9.
Because you know what I always think about?
They birthday a week apart.
I think, I don't think you said it in an interview. I think you said it on like one of your albums, but you said the thing about how your daughter will be telling you, Dad, you already got enough money. You don't got to go to work.
Yeah.
Was that a skit or was that from an interview?
No, that was that on the skit?
Is this Mike?
I think that was a skit. I think that was a skit.
Yeah, I remember it from the album, and I always think about that because like my kid is just now starting to get to the age where she'll like beg me to not leave.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've said the same thing to her, like, I got to go get some money. And she doesn't really get it. She's like, what the f do you need money for?
She gonna understand when we get old and we be trying to hang with them and then they got shit to do.
For the record, the thing that you said in the album was your daughter said, Dad, you already got plenty of money.
Yeah.
You don't need to leave us. Like, you need to be here with us.
Yeah, she said that.
And that's a tricky,
she was a shorty too.
balance.
I think my daughter said that when she was like 5, bro.
Because that would have been around the time we did the last interview. So that was probably the project at that time, yeah. But is that tough for you? Because when I think about the life of a rapper, it's like, it's so dependent on you being outside, in the strip clubs, in the clubs, in the studio till 4 a.m, et cetera. Like, it requires so much time. It can be hard to balance being a good dad as well.
It don't be hard. Like, not no more for real, you know what I'm saying? I spend a lot of time with my kids, you know what I mean? Like, I get a lot of off time and I be with my shorties, but at the end of the day, the reason why it ain't hard because of what we doing this shit for. We doing this shit to get rich. We doing this shit to get money and change their lives so they ain't got to live like how we lived and go through shit that we went through, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the mission make it all worth it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know, she going to be here for a long time, her and my little boy, so we going to get some years with them.
Definitely. Yeah, and like 8 or 9, all of a sudden they're like kind of getting into the area where they're able to go be with their friends. They're in school all day.
Got their own life at that point, you know what I'm saying, where they starting to create their own life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all good.
It's tricky though, because sometimes, you know, there are things that are obviously work. You got an album due, you're spending a couple weeks in the studio or whatever, that's easy to justify, but it's like, when I go to Atlanta and I'm in the strip club till 5 a.m. and I'm thinking in my head, like, I really want to be with my kid.
Yeah.
But here I am in this environment, having fun, doing shit that I used to like really want to do like all the time without having any kind of like balance in my head between the responsibilities and just having fun.
You know, it's crazy. Like, my shit like reverse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even like going to the clubs. That shit boring to me. I've been doing that shit for so many years. You know what I mean? Before a nigga was like rapping type shit, I was already going out at a young ass age, going to titty bars at 15, 14 and shit like that. So now, like, when I be getting that off time, I actually be wanting to be with my kids. I don't like being in the clubs. I don't even like taking club shows. Like, that shit bored. I be in that bitch bored. There don't be nothing to do in that motherfucker. Niggas be looking at each other.
Yeah. See, I'm like completely burnt on that scene to the point where now it feels kind of appealing because I do it so infrequently. That when I do get to go,
it feel appealing?
When I go to the club now, it's like I'm on another fucking planet because I never put myself into these circumstances. And for you, it's like a consistent part of the business of being Icewear Vezzo. For me, this is just like another galaxy that I've entered into once I'm in the booty club.
You, basically.
Yeah, but it stopped being fun for a long time, and now I feel so like isolated from just doing content and being on the grind for so long because my grind is never being in the club, really. Like, I'm pretty much like home by 8, 9 p.m. like almost every night. But like, there's part of me that's like, nah, you need to be in those environments because that's how you're gonna run into a random person and make a relationship that's gonna change your life if you keep just like putting yourself outside.
Yeah, that shit. That shit boring. That shit overrated. Nigga did that shit for so many years. It's over.
So what is the difference between Icewear Vezzo right now and 3 or 4 years ago when we last sat down? Because I feel like 3 or 4 years ago you were experiencing a real moment where the whole country outside of your local scene was like really starting to like become familiar with you. Whereas now I feel like when people talk about Detroit and they talk about like the legends of the last 10 years that they're pretty much like you're cemented as one of the main guys that has blown Detroit up over the last few years.
Yeah, for sure. I think the difference is just like right now I'm in that space where I take my time with a lot of shit. I'm focused more so on like businesses outside of music. I understand that a nigga can't be rapping forever. I'm not gonna be one of them, you know what I'm saying? So I'm also focused on all my shit that I got going on outside of music, just taking this shit slow and being specific with what I do, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I think a few years ago I was on that grind. I had just got out of prison. And I felt like I was behind, you know what I'm saying? I felt like at the age I was, I suppose I had been a millionaire at the moment. So it was, for me at the time, it was just like, whatever, like, you know, we got to make this shit shake. I'm outside every day, all day. You know what I mean? I'm dropping tape after tape, trying to run it up, you know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm at that point where I done made millions of dollars and I gotta make 100 million now. At first, that 3 years ago, it was that first $1 million grind. You know what I mean? Just doing whatever the fuck you gotta do. Right now, it's that $100 million grind. That shit take way more laser sharp focus. You know what I mean? And just moving at a slow pace, moving smart, and doing shit my way. Picking and choosing what I want to do and how I want to do shit.
Right.
I ain't in a rush to do nothing no more right now.
Because at first you have that feeling of like, oh, I literally just rapped my ass out of poverty, or out of the situation that I came from. And then at a certain point, you start to realize, well, if I do 100 verses this month versus if I just like, you know, get a handful of songs that I'm truly pleased with this month, then that could be better. Like it's just at a certain point, you've kind of done so much from the rap perspective that you kind of want to do things in a different way.
I need 100 million. I gotta have that shit right now.
But how do you think you're gonna get there in terms of the other business and stuff? What else you got going on?
I own a juice bar. You know, I do movies. I got a film company. I got a lot of shit going on. You know, I got properties. We got adult homes and all that. You know what I mean? So I'm not even saying that the 100 million gonna come from any of that shit. I'm just doing everything that I can do and not just focus on one hustle, which is music. Rap always been a hustle for me. You know what I mean? Nigga got a passion for this shit, but it's still a hustle. That's the whole reason we doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? To get money. So yeah, I'm laser sharp. I'm focused right now. I'm getting 100 million. We on that. That's what I'm on. We gonna run this dog shit up.
Okay, but if you could choose to like make this choice, you can never rap again, but you've got, you know, 10 businesses going on the side, and you could make like a amount of money that's way more than you can make rapping. Would you take that deal, like without, or would you rather? Is the artistic part of it and still rapping and still being able to express yourself and still having the notoriety and fame associated with it? Is that really
this shit? If I can have it that way, that's what I'm doing. I don't give a fuck about. I don't care about this shit that much. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, I feel like none of us really care about it. You know, we get where we need to be financially. I feel like a lot of niggas will say fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that serious. I feel like music overall just I don't know, the whole energy, the vibe, it just been a little weird, like, period.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? And not for me specifically, just more so just sitting back, just watching shit, just watching niggas, watching artists, just everything, just been this shit like WWE.
right?
Everybody got like a character, everybody got a finishing move, pause, like, niggas just got everybody got a mask on. You know, it's rare when you get around people and they the person that they is off camera. I done been around niggas where nigga even start talking different. You know what I'm saying? It just throw me off. You know, so for me, it's like, yeah, at this point, I want the money.
Right. So if we rewind the clock 5 years and you and a bunch of the other dudes you've been grinding around for like 10 plus years, you're all blowing up. It feels a little bit more exciting. And now you kind of see the game a little bit more for what it is. It's a cutthroat ass business, and a lot of people are playing characters to try to get ahead.
Yeah, and no, you know, just more so. So I'm always only focused on myself, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, it's just about the money, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's all it's about. It's always been about the money. I feel like years ago, I had something to prove as an artist. Now I got something to prove to myself as a man.
Right.
That I can get this shit, that we can have the same shit that these folks that own these record labels, I want what they got. That's my new competition. I don't compete with rappers no more. You know what I mean? I don't think none of us need to be competing with each other. We gotta go compete with them folks who own our shit, who own our music. You know what I mean? Got a stronghold over our culture.
Right. I mean, and that's kind of the question is like, how do you get from being a rapper who's prized for his skills on the mic and his personality and his charisma to the point where you're known for something bigger than that? Because I see, like, even with Yachty, I've seen Yachty really trying to, you know, go past the artist stage in his career. He's writing for all these people. He's putting together this group. He's doing all kinds of shit in fashion and shit. And it's like, that stands out to me because he's pretty young.
Yeah.
And he's already like chasing those dreams that I feel like he got from like some of the same influences you probably have, like the guys at QC and just all these people, like great entrepreneurs in hip hop who at a certain point realized that the music wasn't necessarily the end all be all.
Yeah. I think you gotta let that shit come naturally. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anything is worth chasing. You know, when you chase it down, pause, it usually don't go right. But when you just let God work and you do you and you work and you study and you learn what you need to learn and you move and you stay quiet about what you're doing, you know, you keep everybody out your business, shit come naturally like that. Them be the niggas or the people overall that win and get to a position beyond what they set out for is the ones who sit back and let it come to them naturally. Meaning you work towards it, but you don't do too much. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like with Yachty, I think the shit he doing just coming naturally. He in his element. He just living. He coasting. He doing business. I don't think it's nothing, you know, you intentionally try to be like, for me, I don't give a fuck how the money come. You know, as long as I keep my morals intact, you know, keep my pride intact and still be a man and be the same person I am, on and off camera, to my children, to my wife, to my family, my mother, and everybody that's with me and support me. That's all that matters, you know what I mean? Other than that, it don't matter how the money come. I think a lot of people go wrong by intentionally trying to go do shit. It's equivalent to a person that start rapping just so they can make money. You know what I mean? Starting off, that's it. Again, it's always about that. But starting off, like I said, I had something to prove as an artist.
I feel like a lot of the old school hip hop heads and rap fans might sometimes be suspicious of a dude like you because they think that somebody like you might really be looking at rap as more of a
They should
hustle.
be suspicious of me. Absolutely be. Yeah, they should be.
Right.
You know, but if they don't, if it get to that point, I think that's sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Why not let a nigga like me in? Somebody that understand business, somebody that understand people. You know, being in prison, bro. I had to live with 2,500 other men. Pause again. So you learn how to deal with people. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that should be a goal for them to show other niggas that got the ambition and they own money how to do some shit, because we gonna keep create positions for our community and for our culture. We tear each other down enough as is, you know. So I think it ain't nothing wrong with pulling motherfuckers up, and I don't think it's enough of that going on, you know, with like with the black folks that's in any type of position or power. I think they think people like me set out to use them or take advantage of them or get something from them, you know, when it ain't always about that. Just a little bit of insight, a little bit of knowledge, that shit'll go a long way, especially with somebody like me who really pay attention, who listen and study, you know, and keep quiet about shit. But, you know, if that dude make somebody weary, then they need to, that say a lot about them.
Would it hurt you if you couldn't get in the studio for a year? Like by the end of that year, would you be like really yearning for that fun experience of being in the studio, especially like being in the studio with a bunch of your friends making a song? I mean, that's got to be almost like the feeling of like playing a sport with a bunch of your friends, you know, where it's just like that camaraderie and that creativeness that comes out in that environment.
What you mean, like in more detail?
Like if you couldn't rap for a year, by the end of that year, would you be kind of like jonesing, like, shit, I want to get in there. Like, it's been a minute.
Yeah, I couldn't rap for 2 years when I was in prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
I got out and I wanted to rap for sure, without a doubt. Yeah.
Definitely.
I still love music. You know, I love this shit. I wouldn't be rapping if I didn't like it. But my point is, I still don't take my mind off the initial goal is the money. I don't come from nothing, bro. I didn't graduate school. I dropped out of 9th grade. 3-bedroom home, 9 motherfuckers lived in. I don't come from nothing.
Right.
I ain't had shit. I don't got a rich uncle, a rich brother, a rich cousin. We don't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? So the end goal is always to get the money. And if you can have fun in the process, then you really blessed. You know what I'm saying? So I still try my hardest to make sure that I'm having fun while I'm doing this shit. The moment I start letting shit stress me out, it throw my whole flow off. And that slowed me up a lot of times. Even after, when we first did the interview, I feel like, that's when my shit started. Like you say, when the world started understanding and knowing who Icewear Vezzo was. Even in the midst of that, it got to a point where I stopped having fun.
Really?
And shit slow up. But the moment I start back having fun, everything be good. And I think I more so don't have fun when I'm signed to record labels.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that who'd you sign with around that time?
I was signed with Motown.
Okay.
It wasn't nothing that they did either. They ain't do nothing wrong. I think I'm just hard headed. I don't know how to listen that much. I don't do good with, you know what I mean, with giving other people my vision and allowing them to lead something that I wanted my whole life.
Because a lot of times the label is really necessary if you're a
They are
19-year-old
necessary.
kid who don't know what the fuck is going on.
For sure.
But for you, it's like you already have all these years in the game where you've been kind of figuring out how you like to do things and what works for your fan base. And then all of a sudden you got a label basically telling you how to make your shit more palatable for your own fan base that you've been building up for all these years, right?
Even me, I still needed Motown at the time because I learned a lot from them. I got to be able to see a lot of like how this shit work on the ins and out and learn more about how to, marketing and where I need to spend my money and the type of money I need to spend. So it was necessary for me even then. I just think in the end, I don't do good with record labels. I ain't that good with them.
Right. But do you think that it's beneficial for you from a business perspective?
Absolutely.
It gets you in more doors, could get you working with more artists, could get you on, media opportunities, radio. I don't know exactly what the fucking label really doing.
It served all that, without a doubt. Both record deals I had, I benefited from. Even if it wasn't through, like, on my music shit, just behind the scenes, I still benefited in our game. I don't regret dealing with no record label, so I'm not sitting here telling no young nigga like, hey, bro, don't go sign to no major. The way my life and my career pan out, that ain't gonna be for everybody. We all got our own path. We all got our own mission. We all gonna have different results. Even doing the same shit, we can have different results. So I ain't gonna be the nigga that sit and tell niggas to pass up on any opportunity because you can benefit from it. I benefited, but in other areas, I just didn't do right, and maybe it was me. I'm not pointing a finger at nobody. It possibly was me. I'm probably 80%. It was me. You know what I'm saying? But it just is what it is.
Say there's like a up and coming artist from Detroit. You fuck with them. This is like a complaint I oftentimes hear when I'm talking to younger artists is that they feel like the OGs from their city will see what they're doing but not want to get behind them or support them or do a song with them unless they're able to sign them or really participate in their career. If you see somebody coming up and you see that they have all the potential in the world, what is your mentality in terms of how you want to necessarily engage with that person? Is it just like, let's do a song together because I want to be a part of your come up? Or is it like, nah, let's do business together and then we could get into that situation?
Majority of all the young niggas that came up like after me, I did songs for, reached out to them, I give them game and all that shit. But it be beneficial for both of us. And I think that sucker shit when niggas that be turned from certain areas don't, kick back and reach out to the young niggas that they see having motion and see having any wave. I think that's whole shit. I don't like them whole games. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never did that. I done show love to everybody, literally everybody. Shout niggas out, get niggas verses, do songs and all that. But I benefit from that too, because anytime a new artist come up, they wave always more turnt than the niggas that's already got it.
Right.
The new kid in school always gonna be one of them ones at the moment.
Yeah.
So we benefit as well, you know what I'm saying?
And if you can take all those like 17-year-old rap fans who are locked in with this artist and suddenly you're like the cool big homie from their perspective, that could just extend how long they give a
No, for sure, without a doubt, that shit work. I just think, I see that shit going on a lot though, that's whole shit.
Yeah.
We ain't had that. Me, Peasy, Ray, no, we ain't had that. We ain't had that.
Definitely.
We didn't have
when I look at like all the rap scenes that have kind of like unfolded through these interviews that we do, because there was like a period there, like a year or two, where it felt like we were just talking to a new artist who was really cracking off from Detroit like every month or two. And when I think about it, it kind of feels like Detroit is the biggest wave that I've seen come out of a city, blowing a city up that wasn't predicated on violence and beef. Like you guys were all just like it was like a good vibe. Everybody fucking with each other. Dudes coming in and doing interviews. It's not like there's crazy beefs that I gotta either ask about or avoid. And that when you compare it to a lot of cities that have kind of blown up over the past few years, that it's like primarily based around people being fascinated by the violence or the gang conflicts or whatever. And it's not like there's none of that in Detroit, but it feels like most of the bigger artists who popped off the last few years are people that weren't relying on that.
For sure, because whatever we go through, that's between us. That shit got to stay at home. And I think we all equally put that kind of effort in. Shit go on. Niggas got smoke with each other everywhere you go. We not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Niggas go through shit where this nigga might like this, might not fuck with this nigga. These niggas done did whatever already. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's our business. That ain't nobody business. To go on the internet and speak on that or none of that, you know what I'm saying? We don't need to do that because that shit don't benefit us in the end. And I think us doing that is selfish because the niggas that ain't street niggas that can make music and that might get this opportunity, we might fuck it up for them playing like that because don't nobody want to invest in nobody that's a liability. So we can't do that. And we ain't gonna do that.
You see that in some cities where it's like, you know, Chicago has a crazy ass scene. There's a new artist popping off every month or two that everybody's talking about, but a lot of those artists are also like really limited because they can't do shows in their hometown. They can't, you know, a shitload of the artists can't work with each other. Not to mention that you just hear about, you know, terrible shit happening with people getting shot up and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, it's dope that they have a thriving scene, but also there's like so much negativity attached to it that it's hard to be fully embraceful of it.
I feel like Chicago be having a run. You know what I'm saying? They shit probably a little different. Can't speak on other niggas' politics and activities and shit, but from the outlooking in, I think Chicago, as far as the music go, them niggas doing all right to me. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So how much time do you actually spend in Detroit at this point versus other places? You moving around a lot?
Yeah, no, I be in the city most of the time. I got shit going on there. I go out of town if it's like some business or something to do. I don't hang out and have fun. Don't nothing be fun to me. I be bored, bro.
Really?
Ain't nothing fun. I don't have fun doing nothing.
Is that just because you have to compare everything that you could be doing to spending time with your kids?
No, I compare everything I am doing to what I could be doing. If I'm in a club and I'm thinking about what I really could be spending my time doing, you know, that future potential. Where could I really be at? Like, what am I doing? Shit a waste of time. I don't like hanging out too much. I don't know. I like being by myself a lot.
And it says a lot, though, because a lot of people are in celebration mode, like, all the time.
I ain't got shit to celebrate.
About nothing. Yeah. They don't really got any W's, but they're still just out here popping bottles and toasting.
I ain't where I want to be at yet. I ain't got nothing to celebrate. I appreciate everything I got. I thank Allah for everything He did for me and gave me. Appreciate my family, my kids, and the people that's a part of my team. But it's too early to celebrate. We ain't doing no pats on the back yet. We ain't got enough yet.
It's also because you became successful after many years in the game.
I don't even think I'm successful, bro. I don't feel like I'm successful.
Compared to a lot of rappers, I mean, when I look at the numbers and shit, I'm like, damn, this is dope as just because I know you worked so hard for so many years to get into that position, and it's always nice when that's rewarded versus, you know, the new cool 18-year-old rapper who's waving guns around in the video and he pops off after making songs for 2 months. It's like, it's nice to see somebody who really grinded for it and perfected their craft and then now is getting the benefits of it.
Yeah, I just don't feel successful. I don't know, bro. I think I got greedy, bro. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's greed or if I'm unappreciative. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's success. This shit ain't enough.
Well, you need to kind of,
we need more.
If you want to keep progressing, you can't be 100% content. Because if you're really fully content, then you're just not going to keep grinding. You're not going to keep working. And that's kind of the scary thing is a lot of people reach like really high heights.
I'd be a lie if I say that haven't happened to me before, though, where I felt like, you know what I'm saying? That I went through that. I made my first $1 million. I went through that shit for like 6 months while I got to tweaking, like chilling, you know what I'm saying? I felt good. I felt content. I always feel good, but I just felt content. You know what I'm saying? That did fuck up. That'll fuck up your grind without a doubt. And when that shit happened to me, I said I'm not allowing that to happen again until I get to where I genuinely want to be at. You know what I'm saying?
Because I think that's the test of a really great entrepreneur, is to be able to keep grinding and working past the point where there's no more like pain. Because when you're broke, that shit hurts. Like it really, day to day, you wake up with a chip on your shoulder because you know that you want to be in a better place. Once you get to a place where you don't have to worry about where your next check is coming from, the guy who can keep grinding through that, because, you know, imagine where Jay-Z would be at if he had, you know, felt content after his first million.
That shit feel good not to have to sell dope and shit like that. That shit is a blessing. It feel amazing. It's been a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? I have to do none of that shit. That shit too much, bro. That shit too much. That money took too long to make, and I lost all that shit. I ain't got $1, none of that. I just feel, I am grateful that I don't have to sell nothing. That shit mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
because no matter what your level of happiness is, if your level of happiness is also paired with having to worry about if the feds are investigating you.
But respectfully though, you know, it's niggas that might feel that they gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking nobody for whatever they do to get their money. I'm saying how I feel. I feel good that I don't gotta do that no more.
Right.
Because I ain't like the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Be out all day, every day, with a million niggas, seeing a million niggas, worry about the police kicking my shit in, harassing me, taking money out my pocket, and all this shit fucking over my restaurants, all my businesses. I hated that shit. And now I ain't gotta do that no more. So I feel good. But in the moment when I was living like that, I genuinely felt that I had to do that. I wasn't doing it because I needed to. I did it because I had to. So I would hope or assume that anybody else that do it, they do it because they feel like they got to versus want to do that, you know.
But just like your quality of life isn't just how much money you have.
Without a doubt.
It's also extremely important, like how much stress you're under.
I was stressed. That shit ain't happy.
And there's no stress like being scared that you're going to end up locked up.
Yeah.
You know?
That shit ain't happy. That shit a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun at all. That shit ain't fun.
Definitely.
That shit real stress every day.
You know what? YouTube just served me since I've been watching a lot of Icewear Vezzo over the last couple of days. They're like, here, check out this video from 10 years ago where Icewear Vezzo got a juvenile feature.
Oh, yeah.
And that shit was kind of crazy to watch. It just being like, wow, this is like such a different period in your life.
Yeah.
You have any like particular memories of what that was like?
Man, that shit happened on some bullshit for real. I just pulled up to my homie Mac studio, and that nigga was in that motherfucker and doing a song. I just dropped my verse and kept the song. You know what I'm saying? We shot down in New Orleans and did the video. Then we shot some of it in Detroit. But it was like a surreal moment for me because that's a nigga that I grew up listening to. And I wanted to be that nigga at one point when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A real kid. You know, that's Juvie, man. 400 degrees. I respect niggas for the work they put in. You know, I still look at Juvie the same way that I looked at him when I was a shorty. I look at any legend and any real nigga that provided and added to anything that I got going on and help enhance what I'm interested in. I still respect them niggas, you know what I'm saying? No matter where they at right now, I still respect them for what they done.
And you can really hear it in your verse that your original hustle.
That verse was terrible. I hate that verse.
But your original hustle of being the juice man was like very fresh in your mind. You're still like your lyrics on that one are not like, I remember when I used to sell lean. It's like, no, this is my life right fucking now.
That verse garbage. I hate that bitch.
Really? You think you've improved that much that it's hard to even listen to your old shit?
I feel like I bullshitted with that song. You heard Juvie verse?
Yeah, you kind of went crazy.
Cut up on that bitch.
Yeah.
I played games on that motherfucker, man. We gotta do another one, Juvie, ASAP.
Oh, that'd be great. He's kind of having a moment. Back. He did Tiny Desk, and he like had
that was crazy.
Bunch of crazy shit
That's
this year.
That's a nigga I want to see win all the time.
Same.
I want to always see Juvie win. Juvie seemed like a good nigga, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
I feel like probably my first taste of Southern hip hop was seeing the Ha video on MTV back in like '97 or some
Hep
shit.
was that was one of them.
That was just mind blowing to me as a kid from the East Coast. Like, holy fuck.
Are you from the East? I thought you was from out west.
From New Hampshire, like right outside Boston.
Bro, this whole time I thought you was from out here.
Yeah, everybody
LA.
thinks I'm like a cool ass white kid who grew up out here and managed to not join a gang. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was about to ask you how did the West Coast take to the down south shit when that shit came out?
It's totally foreign to me too. And there's a lot of eras of West Coast hip hop that people think I'm gonna have like encyclopedic knowledge, and I'm like, listen, I was on the East Coast listening to G Unit and Dipset back then. Like that,
Yeah.
I kind of missed the jerking era, for example.
You like that era?
Not really. I'm not really much of a dancer myself.
Let me find out you was doing a jerk.
I wish, but yeah, I couldn't really. I just wasn't a part of that at all. You know, I was like into other shit. I was listening to Gucci and everybody associated with Gucci for like 5-6 years straight. When I think about it,
Gucci had my hood on lock.
Yeah,
music said.
When people ask me about like Kid Cudi's early career, I'm like, I don't know. I was listening to Gucci and Waka and OJ and shit. Like I wasn't trying out every other
no pad,
genre.
no pencil.
Yeah,
all that shit. That was that way.
For sure. Yeah. So you got a chance to connect with Gucci since you the past few years?
Yeah. Yep. I was just with Gucci in Vegas at one of the tank fights.
How was that?
It's probably a few months ago. We was cool, and Gucci my homie, so that should be regular.
Hell yeah.
Gucci a real nigga. I feel, bro.
Yeah, he wrote the blueprint for the modern era of rappers, I feel like.
Sure, without a doubt.
Yeah.
He definitely did. Him, Weezy, Pluto, them three.
Definitely.
They wrote, and Snowman, and Snow. Can't forget Jeezy.
Right.
They wrote this shit.
Jeezy for sure. Yeah. Like that was a crazy thing for me to see after that last interview is when you had a bar dissing Jeezy and then all of a sudden you guys clicked, you got together. Was that awkward? Do you have a conversation about that, or was it just kind of
No, we had a conversation. We had a conversation.
Okay. And he wasn't super tripping about it?
I ain't gonna put a conversation out there. We talk like real men, like real niggas, you know what I'm saying? I f up the whole vibe if I tell the world how the conversation went.
That's real.
I'm gonna keep that with us. But we had a conversation, we did some music, and I f with bro. And I f with him outside of him doing the song. I ain't one of them niggas. I ain't one of them niggas that don't f with a nigga, but the moment a nigga give me some or show me some love, nah, I got love for a person. That's not who I am. I gotta respect you outside of anything, you know what I'm saying? So we had the conversation took place long before we did the song, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I feel like as a rapper, a lot of times you want to kind of mention current events and you want to make jokes about shit that's going on. And a lot of times when you're rapping, it's 3 a.m.
No, hey, bro, in real life, that's what that was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that was.
Right.
It wasn't nothing personal. It wasn't nothing. That's exactly what that was. I'm just popping shit, just having fun, high, talking shit, rapping.
Right.
Yeah. But I can understand how anybody feel disrespected by that, you know what I'm saying?
And the fans love that shit. The fans love when you are
love
willing to throw somebody's business out there.
Like, they love to see us tear each other down and f each other over, man. Y'all gotta chill with that shit.
I had a couple people tell me that that's why when it comes to rapping, you got to do it late at night and you got to do it while getting, inebriated, because realistically, you're trying to tap in with the part of your brain that you just don't get at 11 o'clock in the morning. You're trying to tap in with your darker side.
I wouldn't say darker side, but I feel like the more the day go on, the more thoughts you done had, you know what I'm saying? Riding in the car, listening to other niggas' music and just vibing, period. I say like the later in the day, you got shit to talk about. You feel like rapping. I ain't a nigga that wake up and feel like rapping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like rapping as my day go on.
Yeah. We did a No Jumper cypher, so that was my first time ever rapping. And I booked the studio session for 10 in the morning, and all the other hosts
start rapping.
They were laughing at me. Yeah, I got 2 verses under my belt.
You gonna drop an album?
I don't think I'm gonna go album with it. I think I'm gonna just like do a couple songs with a couple different artists and just feel out the response.
Are you playing with niggas hustle, bro?
No, so you think I'm gonna take your spot?
No.
You're good. You'll be all right.
He playing these people.
Nah, but I
hustle,
booked
man.
the session super fucking early, and they're just laughing at me like, bro, what is wrong with you? But I'm like, I got such a busy schedule that I gotta like try to fit the session in early or late. And I figured that I would just squeeze this in at 10 in the morning, and I didn't realize I was going to get roasted so bad.
You wrote your verse?
Yeah.
Keep it 100, bro.
I got a little bit of help, but once I got going, it was like I didn't really need help because I got such a strong
just
sense
say
of what I want to say.
now anyway. Motherfuckers don't care about all that lyrical shit, all that.
You want to do a review?
I know you be trolling too, gang. I know for sure you be trolling.
That's a good one though, right? Like you're in Mechanicsville, so you got to be looking for a transmission.
That's I understand the metaphor, but that ain't no good metaphor. That's a horrible metaphor.
Yeah, I could have gone another way with it. See, that's the up thing about being a white boy.
You like playing like that. You like trolling like that, though.
My first verse from the actual cipher, I said a whole bunch of gay ass shit.
You really wrote that, though?
Yeah.
You rhyming on that motherfucker.
It sounding all right?
Yeah, it is. Other than that one part, the whole shit up, though.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
I'm not saying like the bitch just crazy, like it's fire gang. Like, don't get, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to lie. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that.
I realize, all right, you tell me if this is accurate, though. It's like when you're rapping, you could either say exactly what you want to say and have the shit really like not sound that good, or you could keep it player, make it sound smooth, but you're gonna have to like basically compromise on what you say because you're not gonna be.
What you mean compromise?
Like, okay, it's very tempting to like overstuff your bars with like extra syllables to say exactly what you want to say.
Yeah,
and a lot of times you have to like massively simplify it.
I think people like simple shit now. I think all that, like the overly lyrical shit, I feel like they ain't the vibes no more. Niggas ain't trying to hear that. They ain't trying to hear the dictionary.
Right. But you could do that. Like you're a talented enough rapper. Do you ever feel like you're kind of dumbing yourself down?
I do. Sometimes I don't be liking it. I feel like I'm dumbing myself down. I don't dumb myself down on purpose, though. The beats that I be rapping on, that shit just make me want to just talk the shit that I be talking. But I know, like, I really can rap though. Like I really can rap, but I just don't. I don't feel like the shit necessary.
Right.
But smarter, not harder.
It doesn't feel necessary, but is there a part of you that wants to, take on bigger challenges lyrically?
For sure, without a doubt, it is. Without a doubt.
Right. Yeah. But you gotta play the game.
Yeah, you gotta play the game. I just don't be having the opportunity to take on bigger challenges. I be saying that I'm gonna do the shit, but every time I get in the studio, I just be wanting to talk about what I'm talking about. I don't write, so niggas just be freestyling shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna cap. Whenever I do take advantage of being lyrical, I'm gonna have to write that shit. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna fire a nigga up on the track. Talking that shit.
Do you write anything down throughout the week, like when you're not in the studio? You won't even if you think of one bar that like really stands out to you.
If I think of a bar that's fire, I say it in like my voice memo.
Okay.
But then I don't never end up using the bar because when I do the song, I freestyle and I don't be having shit that to go with the shit that I done said in my voice memo.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm brand new to this.
And why is you playing with people hustle, bro?
I'm not disrespecting it.
No, you ain't disrespecting.
I'm adding to it.
You ain't adding, though. But you playing with this shit.
You know what it is?
That's what happens when niggas get rich. They just want to have fun, just do anything.
It's just so fun getting in there and just rapping with the homies that I just like, when I got a taste of it doing that cypher, I was like, there's no way that's going to be the last one that I ever do. I got to keep fucking around.
You playing.
You're going to be asking me for a verse at some point.
I hope we blow up.
At 22, I need you on this project.
What's your rap name?
Adam 22. I don't think I'm going to change that.
Same name?
Yeah.
What you call your mixtape?
I think a mixtape was too much of like an artistic statement. I'm trying to just do one-off videos. I feel like a mixtape is you could take that on once you have like a real fan base.
You really serious, but you acting like you playing or you really playing. I feel like you really serious about this shit.
Because it's like I've gotten so much good feedback that it's like I have to chase it a little bit, but I feel like as soon as I hit any kind of stumbling block or if I do a song and people are like, nah, this shit is ass, then I'll probably just stop.
Niggas gonna say his ass regardless, though. Ain't no way around that.
Yeah, but I could judge the overall consensus, I think.
Right.
But to be real, like a lot of the Detroit shit is kind of what made me feel more comfortable rapping because so much of it is just
saying shit.
Getting in there, being funny, saying some relatable, witty shit.
That style more so came from Flint.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna cap.
Definitely.
That came from Flint. Just saying anything and just, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the beats, come from Detroit, like as far as the sound. But that style of just having fun, just being funny, like playful music type shit, Flint. That comes from Flint without a doubt.
I think
We adapted each other's style though. You know, we shared this shit.
to me, Rio is like
We
the
all
greatest stand-up comedian of the last 10
He
years.
started that sound.
He's just
He
like
created it.
the funniest fucking person I could ever imagine. Should have been a stand-up comic, then instead he just took his talents to the rap
And that
world.
bitch Ree gonna say anything and they gonna love it.
Facts.
But he really can rap though. That nigga really lyrical. Like he lyrical like how Lil Wayne him is. Him, Crispy Life, Mike, all them niggas, like all the Flint niggas really lyrical.
Do you think the game changes when Rio comes home?
For sure, for him, without a doubt.
It's gonna be wild.
I think he gonna have a crazy ass run without a doubt. But the game gonna be the game. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people in the world, everybody gonna like what they like. Everybody what they with. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Everybody got fans.
So, okay, what's your relationship with the lean like at this point? Because when I listen to your bars, I'm like, okay, he's got a conflicted relationship with it. He still loves it, but he also has had to take a step back.
I don't sell drugs. I don't do drugs. Don't do nothing with drugs. I don't carry guns. I don't do nothing.
Right.
I don't do nothing, brother.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you really like very seldomly drink lean at this point?
I don't drink lean.
It's over.
I quit.
Really?
I don't drink. I don't smoke either. Yeah.
When did that start?
Since I got on my dean a little more.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Was that like a abrupt change, or had you always been interested in your faith, but you
I always
took it to another
been
level?
extremely religious. You know what I'm saying? I've always been religious. But I just feel like the last few years, I think God did so much for me that I got to pay it back and just stay on my deen, you know?
Right.
I choose to be Muslim at all times. I've been Muslim.
Is smoking and drinking and everything, is that just overall bad for your life?
I ain't never drunk, for real. I ain't never drunk liquor. Liquor boring. That shit ain't about nothing.
Okay, no
that
liquor.
Shit give you too many emotions that ain't really there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Nigga be just happy and all kind of shit for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I like my happiness to be natural. I like everything, all my feelings, my mindset, everything to be organic and to be natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. You just like, I feel like the older I get, the more it's like smoking weed just like doesn't really agree with the level of motivation that I want to have throughout the day.
Yeah, that's why I used to smoke back to back. I used to smoke weed like cigarettes, but it seemed like shit when I was smoking in jail, but when I got out of jail, I had to be on probation for 3 years and I couldn't smoke at all. So I just never got back to it. I didn't feel like I needed to. I can't that shit. I think too much. I feel like I'm chemically imbalanced. I'm not nobody that need to be too high off certain type of drugs. I done some dumb ass, stupid ass shit. High, a lot of like dumb shit that don't make no sense, like stupid ass shit.
Definitely.
Being high, like a lot of it. I don't need to do drugs. I don't need to stay away from drugs.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm slowly.
And I'm a smooth nigga, like I'm a laid back, like chill type nigga. You know what I'm saying? But my mind be wondering, bro. Like my shit go far off, and I just be thinking too hard, and I don't know. I just think too much. And I be creating situations that's not really there in my mind about people around me, about a lot of shit. My mind just be wondering. And I feel like them drugs just gonna enhance that.
But are you ever at like, it's 2 a.m, you want to go to bed, you're stone cold sober, and you're like, God damn, a blunt would be nice right now?
Yeah, I hit that motherfucker.
Okay. Yeah.
Like once. 3, 4 in the morning type shit every now and then. I don't think nothing wrong with it. I just can't. I can't smoke all throughout the day.
Yeah.
Should have thrown me off.
Throughout the day is what fucks me up.
And I get lazy easily too.
Yeah.
Like I can get lazy easily. I just be like, F the whole day. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I can't handle that shit.
Yeah. There's one thing for me to do when I'm home and I got a strict schedule of exactly what I'm going to be doing all day. But like when I'm on the road, or I'm like off, in an environment where I got to be meeting a lot of new people and shit. When I think about it now, it's like weed just makes me a little bit too closed off. I'll be meeting somebody I respect for the first time and I'll just be fried and I just like won't even know what to say. And
nigga think you acting funny too. The whole time you just blow for real. That happened to me a few times.
I don't like that. I'm trying to avoid that at this point in my life, yeah.
Yeah, you trying to be more approachable.
Yeah, and just work harder and just be more on the hustle and be able to like take advantage of the situations when they.
Because you never know when you when it's time to have a real conversation, a beneficial conversation.
Right.
The motherfuckers just happen randomly.
Yeah.
And one conversation could change your whole trajectory of life. You got to be prepared for them conversations.
Yeah.
Some niggas think better high though.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of homies that think way better when they high.
Oh, I know a million people who seem like they just smoke blunts back to back all day, every day, and they're just totally fine.
Normal, like ain't nothing going on. All my homies like that.
And a lot of people, you can't really tell that they're super high too. Whereas if I'm high, I feel like everybody can just completely tell by looking at my eyes.
That's the same with me. Literally, that's the same shit with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it at a certain point. Was it a big decision for you to take that picture with Donald Trump, or was that just kind of spur of the moment?
It wasn't no big decision. It's something that needed to be done. It wasn't even about the picture. It was about going to have a conversation. If you voting, you know what I mean, you gotta hear both sides of everything. That's like, for instance, right? That's like, where you say you from again?
New Hampshire.
That's like you never going nowhere and you boldly say New Hampshire is the best place in the world.
Right.
But you never been nowhere. So how would you know that? So if somebody is pandering or whatever the case may be to me as a voter, then I would want to hear all sides. I didn't only just speak with Trump. I had Robert Kennedy come to my hood. He pulled up on 6 Mile in the middle of the trenches at Zorbas, kicked it for like 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? I linked with him, Trump, and I was willing to link with Biden as well. If I'm a voter, I want to vote, but I gotta hear everybody's side of the story. You know, we got to get out that point where we shut motherfuckers down because we want one narrative to be the only narrative. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of that come from fear. When you don't link with everybody or listen to everybody and let everybody talk, I feel like that's fear of this person that you want to disagree with might just make sense to you. You don't want that to happen, you know? So I just believe in talking to everybody. That was something intentional.
For sure. So what was it like getting backlash? Because I feel like you're someone who's always been like very, very well liked by the community. So it might have been kind of jarring to actually have people acting like you were this bad guy. Yeah,
people was tweaking when I did that shit, but I feel like it was worth it for me to be the first person to take that step towards, for one, not making assumptions based off a picture. You know, I had offered folks 10,000. You had people like that was saying like, yeah, why would you support Trump and all that? And I say, listen, I got 10,000. If you can tell me how this conversation went, you don't know what I'm talking about. For one, we got to learn how not to make assumptions until we know what's going on. Get all the details of a situation, then you learn. I never said who I was supporting, especially at that time, who I planned on voting for. That's not my. I have to learn these candidates first. You know, obviously, I could have just listened to mainstream media and listened to the news and believe whatever they told me. But I don't think that's logical either. I believe in doing my own independent research. Even if what I'm being told is correct, I still need to find out if what I'm being told is right or wrong, if it is the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was a lot of backlash, but I ain't give a f, because I think it's important that we, my community, the black community, we learn how to hear every side, do our own independent research, and outside of that, not jump to conclusions about what one of our brothers is doing. I put myself on the line. Y'all don't want to go talk to him, f it, I go talk to him. I go check his temperature, whatever this case may be. I do it. People was mad, but I don't regret it. And I would do it again, not necessarily just saying with Trump, but with any election that come up. I am willing to talk to every single candidate and take this information back to my community and let them know what I just learned.
Because I'm a lifelong Democrat, but I've also seen how they do things, which is they basically call the Republicans racist, and then they take it for granted that all black people are going to support the Democratic candidate. And only like this election cycle are we actually seeing that trend kind of break, where it seems like people are.
I don't think
not
it's fair that no party should feel that entitled to our vote, to where they feel it don't have to be worked for. They can just tell us to do it and expect us to do it. And then we get a white man saying that we not black if we don't vote for him. I think that was disrespectful, and nobody was outraged about that.
To be fair, I feel like that's one of the many nonsensical things that have come out of Joe Biden's mouth over the years that he didn't really mean to say.
I don't think he meant it that way either.
Yeah.
And that's how fair I am with sense. You know, I could make that fit some type of narrative. If I'm not with a party, I'm not with the left or the right. I'm for me and I'm for my people and for my community, you know, but we gotta be fair and we gotta stop being biased. So in all fairness, I don't think that he meant that way, but he said it. You know, way the news will work. Like if it was any other way around, and they would have used that to their advantage and played politics with that. You know what I mean?
Definitely, because that was like, you know, it's the kind of thing that, I mean, that's the risk you take when you have an 80-year-old president who could barely string a sentence together. He's going to say all kinds of stupid ass shit like that. Did you really ask Trump if he hates black people?
I think the world just ain't as black as I think the world not just black and white the way we would like to believe it is. It's way more to everything. This world is way more complex. Politics, our government, other foreign nations, all of that is way more to it. And I think we would like to believe that it was just black and white, no gray areas. It was as simple as they say something, we believe it, it's true. Like, it's not that simple. And I think we gotta always do our research and always know and understand it's something outside of that as well. It's way past what we think. We far behind. We way behind. We way behind. And I think if all the nonsense and the crazy shit that Trump said and did, I think if he hadn't he done that, it's a lot of people that still would not be aware of what go on in the political realm. You know, I think, unfortunately, he made it entertaining, which is, as a politician, that's a terrible thing. But for voters who wasn't that invested in politics, we just so happened to benefit from that because we started paying more attention. We learn more. You know, we know more, but we just gotta try to figure out way more and stop thinking that the world is just black and white and there's nothing to it and it's not. It don't work like that. That's not the way life works.
Did you actually ask Trump if he dislikes black people?
We had a conversation, me, him, and Peasy. Basically, yeah.
How would you?
I didn't get a response. Like
it was just kind of him just talking.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. The conversation didn't go the way I wanted it to go at all. You know,
Really?
But it was what I set out to do. I went to do what I try to do. It is what it is. It ain't work.
I've seen a lot of people try to sit down and interview Trump, and it's just, you know, he's talking about whatever the he wants to talk about,
exactly,
and he's so good at pivoting out of what you actually asked him.
He's good at that shit.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Does it motivate you at all, or interest you just that the other candidate is a half black woman, or is that kind of irrelevant to you?
I'm from the trenches, right? I grew up with a mindset of you ride with your people, right or wrong. But I feel like, again, the world ain't that simple. Politics ain't that simple. And I think, for me, it's a lot of other things that will matter. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I don't know.
Definitely. Okay, so you said that you have taken a step back from the lean. If you go into the studio to do a song with somebody and they're drinking green, can you still respect them, or how's that? How's that hit?
Nigga gonna drink what they can drink. That's probably what nigga for. Some niggas be on probation. Say you never know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever nigga do with their life, that's what they do.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because that's kind of something I've done in my songs, is I kind of make fun of people who drink green. But to be totally honest,
you're doing it to have, you're doing
I don't
it
drink lean anyway. I'm just saying that. So I don't really even know like how bad it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people outside of the rap community think like every rapper hooked on drugs and shit. People really think that. Like, people really feel like that. Like, every street nigga that make music is addicted to drugs. We dope fiends and just a bunch of wild, crazy shit.
Right.
You know? I don't know why.
I've seen both sides of it, where there's a lot of people who talk about crazy shit in their music, and then I meet them and I kind of realize they have like a very balanced head on their shoulders and stuff. But then there's other rappers I run into where it's like, holy fuck, this dude is off hella drugs. Like way more than I would have expected.
Yeah.
And that
What
could
you
be
mean way more than what you expected?
I mean, all right, one time I was with a rapper and I saw him buy like 8 perks. And I was like, what are you buying 8 perks for? He's like, well, I need that shit for tonight. And I was like, oh my God, you're going to take 8 fucking perks? This is like such a long time ago that I didn't even know if there were 10s or 30s. But there's also times where I've like been talking to rappers and I realize they take E-pills every day. To me,
I never took E-pills.
I've taken them before, but I feel like if I did it on a consistent basis, I would for sure die.
Man, I was doing that shit when I was 17, 18.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden you're Diddy and you're doing it for the next 30 years.
That nigga burnt out.
I mean, he's just one of them. I'm not saying he did it every day, but you know, there's like a lot of people that we had. That's their cup of coffee.
We're getting high every day.
Taking an E-pill and just
like E-pills played out.
Yeah, it should be, bro. You don't know what the hell is in those things. That's just a roll of the dice.
You don't know what's in none of this shit.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in none of this shit.
Yeah.
Ain't none of this shit good for us. This shit all fucking us up.
No, that's a fact.
That motherfucking them whipping shits.
Oh my God.
That shit'll fuck your brain up for real.
If you came in here with a whip it tank, I would have been disappointed.
Never see me walk in nowhere. No whip it tank.
That's a crazy new youthful fucking drug, and it's just weird going down Melrose and seeing hella people with that shit.
You know the only thing I be having to say about that shit, right? Like the older people now, they got a lot of shit to say about what the young niggas doing now, but was doing the same type of shit when they was them young niggas' age. You know what I mean? And for them to have been that same way, they don't talk to the young niggas. They talk at the young niggas. You know what I'm saying? I think people will listen better if you learn how to talk to them and not talk at them and talk down on the young niggas. You got to educate these young niggas.
The thing that's kind of crazy to me, too, is how, I mean, whippets are bad for you for sure, but they're not anywhere near as bad as like heroin or smoking crack or anything. All these things that have been going on for 30, 40 years.
Perks just as bad too. You don't know what's in that shit no more.
But the galaxy gas just looks so crazy and it's new to most people. So they're like horrified by it. But it's like, nah, the real problem is the drugs that have been a problem for 40 years.
Facts. Crack, dog.
Yeah.
All that wild ass shit. Motherfuckers still smoke crack?
Somebody gotta be doing it. I don't know.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's some old school shit. It's more of a meth world, huh?
Meth world. You did meth before?
One time, yeah.
How that shit?
Had a wild weekend, yeah.
How you was feeling?
Probably the same way you used to feel off those E-pills.
No, it ain't that different. No compare.
A lot of those pills have shitloads of meth in them.
I could see that, but I feel like them two different bags though, the meth and the E-pill.
Yeah, honestly, I was just up this girl for like multiple days in a row. It was all right.
No, that ain't all right.
No, that's not good.
Motivate one of these young niggas to go get some. Let them niggas know.
For sure. I don't recommend it, but I tried it because I was just like drunk and a girl offered it to me. And before I knew it, my whole weekend was just a crazy blur.
It was a bad weekend. Hey, he had a terrible weekend, y'all, is what he's trying to say.
Got some pussy. Couldn't have been that bad, guys.
He took some meth and the weekend, it went completely wrong. So don't go do that shit.
So you're super conscious of your impact on the youth now?
Nah, I'm super conscious on the impact on black people, period. White people, orange people, whatever. I don't know. I ain't gonna say I'm conscious. I ain't no role model. I don't want to be no role model. I'm not a role model. I did too much stupid shit. I got way too many flaws. I'm too far from perfect. I'm not a role model. I don't know. I'm just conscious on the way how easily influenced my community can be at times. Real influence. You know, we got a lot of shit all wrong. We got a lot of shit wrong. We literally think the world is black and white. Not literally like in a racial way, but more so in a logical way. Like, you know, we think it's just what you see is what it is, and that's not life. It's a lot to this shit. It's a lot to people and all that, you know, and we really far behind. We dumb far. We way behind in a lot of areas. And I just want us to catch up. So you gotta be careful what you say to the young niggas.
But do you ever feel any kind of guilt because your career has been in many ways founded off of rapping about
I'm
a bunch of
hypocrite,
shit that you don't really want
I'm a
for
hypocrite.
the next generation?
Yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I did everything that I'm telling y'all not to do. I lived every life that these young niggas rapping about. Niggas and the people from my hood that knew me before music. I am a whole nother person. I am not the same person. Laid back. It's probably a lot of niggas that think whatever, you know what I'm saying? Bro ain't never did nothing. Bro ain't on they think you never know. And I'm glad, I'm proud of that I came a long way. I'm a hypocrite, yeah. I rap about the shit that I don't think niggas should go do. I look at music just like I look at an actor. You know what I'm saying? Niggas go watch motherfucking I ain't even gonna say Scarface, but niggas watch Godfather. Niggas ain't, trying to be Michael Corleone after they watch that shit. I think we gotta have that same logic when it come to music.
But I
look
think
at it like art. I'm telling my story. I'm telling a story. I'm telling a true story. Some of it fabricated, a lot of it fabricated. You know what I'm saying? But I speak about what I've been through, what I seen, and all that shit. And it's just music. And yes, I'm a fucking hypocrite, and I ain't the only one. It's a lot of us like that. We got rich. We live in the suburbs with big stupid ass houses. Our kids go to private schools. Yes, I'm that nigga. Just like your favorite rapper, he that nigga too. But them niggas ain't gangster enough to get up here and say that and admit that.
right.
Because they want niggas to think they land like that and they not. We ain't. We think now. We smart. We play chess now.
The same reason why Scarface was such a popular movie or Goodfellas was such a popular movie is like basically the same reason why a lot of gangster rap, never mind all these like hood documentary videos, etc., are so popular now, is like people have a real extreme desire to want to vicariously live through the lives of people who have had extreme existences. You know, if you work at Foot Locker, you're watching a video about King Von and you're seeing somebody who, lived a life that was infinitely more dangerous and crazy than what you're currently experiencing. But ultimately, it's like a lot of kids tune into that kind of content.
They do watch that kind of shit. I don't even let my kids listen to rap. What
kind of shit you play for them?
They don't got YouTube on their phone. They don't got YouTube. They don't got TikTok. They don't got none of that shit. My kids pray, go to school, and they fuck up the house. That's what they do. They be kids. My kids though. That shit is nonsense. I mean, they listen to music. Don't get me wrong. They don't listen to my music. I don't let them listen to none of my shit. You know what I'm saying? I let them listen to, the decent guys that ain't never did this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them listening to me because it can be a situation as easy as, what's this about? Well, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this happened, baby. This happened, son. You know what I'm saying? This shit happened. It happened.
Right.
It did. I'd rather let them listen to, like party music, shit like that. Like for instance, like on Fridays, they mama allowed them to listen to a rap song, but it's usually the same songs over and over. Ayo and Teo.
Yeah.
Like that. I f with Ayo and Teo too. They came to see my kids. I respect that. I appreciate that.
Wow, that's
that
dope.
was gangster. That made their day.
Definitely. But your kids had to have like caught glimpses of your videos and shit, right? Like they must have seen.
I'm sure they have, when they go over their grandma's house or something. But
they don't get like super fascinated and just want to see more.
I don't know how they feel. They could be not telling me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I make sure my kids are aware of our culture, black culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't paint a picture. I'm just this perfect father and husband and all of that shit. I don't go into detail, but they know I fucked up. They know I made a lot of mistakes. I just admitted to them where, that I have been to jail before. Because they asked me, they got, my kids are smart as shit. So my son, he asked about it. They used to come and visit me. They thought I was working there. I told them I was doing construction on the building, but I had to live there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girl wasn't happy with me when I mentioned that Crip Mac was in jail, and that unleashed a flurry of questions from my kid about jail. Are you gonna go to jail? Why is he in jail? Am I gonna go to jail? Like, what do they do in the jail? And I ended up kind of soothing the situation over by telling her jail's not that big a deal to him. Like, he's all right. He's basically just hanging out with his friends, which
Yeah.
to somebody who's been going in and out of jail their whole fucking life is actually like closer to the truth. Like, this is just not as upsetting for him as it would be for a lot of other people. But my girl was pissed at me for even just acknowledging that there's a thing called jail because does a 3-year-old need to know about that?
Facts. No, for sure. No, without a doubt. I understand. But at the same time, you know, we our kids gotta be aware of shit. We gotta have smart kids that where no matter where they go, any conversation can be had and they can gauge that conversation. No, this is not a conversation I need to take part of. You know, my dad wouldn't allow this. My father wouldn't want me speaking about this. But if they not aware of what's being spoken about, you know, I would rather teach them than the world teach them some shit. You know what I mean? And I'm playing catch up with society because they done taught my kids some shit that I wasn't prepared to teach them yet. You know, we got to make sure society catch up with us. We ain't letting the world teach our babies. We teaching them.
Definitely. Having a kid has really made me like listen to a lot of other genres of music a lot more. Because my kid loves like Taylor Swift and all this. Like she loves like old punk songs and shit. Like she just likes that energy. And so that's kind of like the only rapper she asked for by name is Kodak.
That's fire.
I think it's because
shout out to
he kind of looks like cartoon character ish. So he's like easy for her to remember him.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. How'd you guys end up linking for that one song?
My homegirl Silver, she had tapped us in. I fuck with Brodo. That's my dog. We locked in.
Where'd you film that video?
In Detroit on 6 Mile at the park.
That was dope.
Every time they come to the city, I take them to the same place, to the park. I'll take them on Sanford. We go to Zorba's. Everybody. I took Robert Kennedy to that motherfucker.
Really?
Fuck who you with? If Trump would have put up to that bitch, he would have been on Zorba's. Biden, all that. Yeah, we're going right to the trenches.
Do you think
Robert wanted to see my community? You know what I'm saying?
Robert F. Kennedy could have a rap career with that voice of his, right?
He trolling. See, you know what I'm saying?
He could move to the Bronx and be a rapper out there, man.
He got a unique voice. Pause.
Yo, but one time I saw a clip from a Joe Rogan podcast, and he's interviewed Joe Rogan and some comedian, and the comedian tried to make a joke about his voice, and Joe goes, "No, don't do that. Shut it right the down." Man,
Robert Kennedy, that bitch.
Yeah,
that boy strong.
There was a video that went viral of him working out in Venice Beach, and everybody was like, "How the fuck are you in your 60s and you got a
that nigga doing push-ups, pull-ups, dips, lifting weights, all that shit." That boy strong, man. He cut up.
You gotta give it to him. What all right, so what are you working on now? What do you feel like is the next shit you're trying to bring to the table? What do you need to do in the next year to continue progressing?
I'm about to drop another project, Live from the 6-2. I'm dropping it October. So yeah, I got that. I just wrapped up another movie too. I shot my first comedy. It's called Ride Share.
Really?
Yeah, I wrote it and directed it, motherfucker. So yeah.
Who helped you get put on to how exactly to go about that? Anybody like assist you in terms of putting the knowledge together about how to make that happen?
Yeah, I would say Kamar Smith, for sure. Yeah, my big brother, he from Detroit. He do movies too.
Right.
Yeah, for sure him.
How much of a challenge is it? Or like, where do you end up releasing it? Because you got to end up charging for it, right? You can't just put it on YouTube?
No, my shit be on like Amazon Prime and obviously, of course, Tubi. That's where the money at.
Really?
You know, all that shit. But this next film, we're going to release it on like a bigger, I'm deciding between a couple platforms. I got 2 options, some major platforms. I'm gonna do that just to experience it and see what the money like, you know what I mean? And then I don't know. If I don't like it, then we back to Tubi. Tubi is a for sure thing.
That's interesting. You watch Tubi on your own?
No.
I always hear about it being like super popular though.
There's a lot of good movies on Tubi, they say, like some good writing and shit.
Yeah.
Like
it's bigger than Disney Plus. More people watch Tubi than Disney Plus.
For sure, without a doubt.
Because it's free.
And it's hella shit on Tubi. Anything, any type of movie you want to watch on that motherfucker, like any situation. You know what I mean? So yeah.
The only downside is it's got a lot of ads, right?
I don't know. I'm not gonna care.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't really watch Tubi.
Well, shout out to Tubi. I just did the Diddy documentary, which is coming out on Tubi today.
You did a Diddy documentary?
Well, they wanted to talk to me about what was happening to Diddy.
Are you serious?
Well, I didn't make it. TMZ just like.
But you own a bitch.
They interviewed me as part of it.
What they was asking? You been in one of them parties?
No.
Keep it at
prior to all this shit, I would have been overjoyed if I got invited to a Diddy party. I would have thought that would probably be the coolest party I ever been to.
Yeah. I don't think everybody was on no weird shit that was going on.
Yeah. It's like there's got to be like separate rooms for the weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Vezzo, man. Still big fan of the music. You're still going crazy. Very happy to see the progression and to see you just continuing to grow as a person.
Respect.
I feel like we're gonna have another conversation in a couple of years or in 10 years, and we're just gonna keep seeing everything you're building just continuing to come together.
Shit, big dog shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Vezzo, my man. Appreciate you. No Jumper, coolest podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. We out.